Hello everyone, welcome to my channel TV Repairs and Electronics. So today's topic is about transistor. As you all know, what role does a transistor plays in a circuit board? And a circuit board is incomplete without a transistor. Whenever an electronic circuit board is come to us for a repair, there will definitely be a transistor which is present. And if we need to check the transistor, how will we do it? One, we can check the transistor by removing it from the circuit board, or we can check it directly in the circuit board. So today we will learn about both of these methods. That is, to check a transistor in the circuit board or removing it out from the circuit board. But first of all, let's understand that a transistor comes in two types. One is called NPN transistor and the another one is called PNP transistor. And a transistor have three terminals: emitter, base and collector. The NPN stands for negative, positive and negative, whereas PNP stands for positive, negative and positive. The NPN transistor is mostly used for negative supply, whereas the PNP transistor is mostly used for positive supply. When a positive voltage is supplied to the base of the NPN transistor, it becomes active. On the other hand, when a negative voltage is applied in the base of the PNP transistor, it becomes active. But here is a catch. A minimum of 0.5 volt is required in the base of the transistor. Then only the electrons can pass through the emitter and the collector. A transistor can function or act like a switch or a regulator. A transistor can also be used for amplifications. If you want to know how a transistor amplifier works, please comment down below in the comment box. So far, we have learned how to check a transistor. Therefore, it will be easy for us to check a transistor. So let's see how it's done. This is a rectifier diode. With the help of this rectifier diode, we will learn how to check a transistor. The side where the silver mark is present, that side is called the cathode side. And the side where no mark is present, that side is called the anode side. The symbol or the sign for the rectifier diode is like this, which indicates the current will only flow from one direction. And if we check this rectifier diode with a multimeter, it does not show any kind of reading for both the sides except for only one side. Here, if we place the black lead of the multimeter to the anode side of the rectifier diode and the red lead to the cathode side of the rectifier diode, it does not show any reading. But if we switch the leads and check, the reading will appear in the multimeter. But if there is no reading in the multimeter or shows continuity, then the rectifier diode is faulty. Similarly, if we take two diodes and connect both the anode sides of the rectifier diode and check in the multimeter what reading does the multimeter will show us. Let's see. When we place the black and the red lead of the multimeter to the cathode sides of both the diodes, the multimeter does not show any kind of reading. That's because a rectifier diode allows voltage to pass from only one direction. Due to the rectifier diode allowing voltage to pass from only one direction, the voltage coming from the multimeter gets stopped and we does not get any kind of reading, even if we switch both the leads of the multimeter. However, if we place the red lead of the multimeter to the anode side of the diode, it shows the reading. Also, if we switch the black lead of the multimeter to the either side of the cathode of the two diodes, we will still get the reading. This is because the voltage is passing from the anode side to the cathode side, which we have learned earlier. So, you must have now understand that if we place the two leads of the multimeter to both the cathode sides of the diode, we does not get any reading. But if we place the red lead to the anode side and the black lead to the cathode side, we will get the reading. So just like the diodes, we see similar readings on a transistor. So let's now check a transistor. But remember what we have observed while checking these two diodes just now. So let's take a transistor taking the reference of these two diodes shown along with it, and these two diodes are positioned in the direction as the NPN transistor. To determine if it's an NPN or a PNP transistor, we can look into the datasheet which is easily available on Google. So this NPN transistor, like these two diodes, will not show any kind of reading in the multimeter if we put one lead in the emitter and one lead to the collector. But if it shows reading, the transistor will be considered faulty, even if we try to switch these two leads. If we place the red lead in the base and the black lead to either emitter or the collector of the transistor, it will show reading. But if the multimeter does not show any kind of reading or shows continuity, then the transistor will be considered as faulty. So now let's understand how to check an PNP transistor. Let's also understand this by switching these two diodes. That means we have to connect the cathode sides of the two diodes. After that, we need to place the red lead of the multimeter to either sides of the anode points of the two diodes. And similarly, we can check a PNP transistor. This PNP transistor also does not show any kind of reading or shows continuity if the two leads of the multimeter is placed to the emitter or to the collector. And if it shows any kind of reading, the transistor will be considered as faulty. If we place the black lead to the base of the transistor and the red lead to either emitter or the collector of the transistor, it will show reading. And if it does not show any kind of reading or shows continuity, then the transistor will be considered as faulty. Here we have observed that if we want to check the PNP transistor, we have to put the negative lead, that is the black lead of the multimeter, to the base of the transistor. And to check the NPN transistor, we have to place the positive lead, that is the red lead of the multimeter, to the base of the transistor. Now we will understand how to check a transistor directly on the circuit board. To check a transistor in a circuit board, we have to disconnect the base terminal of the transistor from the circuit board. After that, we can take either emitter or the collector of the transistor and disconnect it from the circuit board. After that, the transistor can be checked. If you want to know how to check a transistor in a running voltage, please let me know in the comments. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe for more future updates. Thank you.